Welcome people to the Royal Air Force Museum. As you all know, the UK has the most powerful air force in the world. You all know about the Royal Air Force. We've got all the best planes, we've got all the best fighters, and I thought, why shouldn't I come here? Yeah, I should come here to show you what we have. Okay, so what they've done is they've shown you, or they've given you a picture of all the sorts of helmets they wear. So I suppose it's for like different types of I should be careful with the wording for this though, but I suppose it depends on the pilot. Maybe that's what the pilot was wearing at that particular time. And also what they show is they show the diversity across the Air Force as well. So talking about the Air Force, like I said, there's a lot of diversity. So this is somebody that probably worked at that time in the Air Force. He might still be working there now, who knows, because not everything in the museum is old. People tend to think everything in the museum is old. Sometimes they have people that are currently working in that place in the museum as well. So this is probably somebody that works there. She looks like somebody trying to detect you know, areas where they have bombs and weapons. That's what it looks like. And she looks like she does a lot of flying. Yeah, we've got a lot of good looking people in the Royal Air Force. Thank you guys for your service. Okay, so we're going to take a look at what they have here. They have various types of planes. That's a Typhoon model. I'm sure a lot of people have heard about the Typhoon. So years ago, the Typhoon was one of the most talked about planes. So this is a Typhoon model. So for this one anyway, they've made a television advertisement for this particular type of model. I don't think I've seen that on TV, but the only thing I've seen on TV is they talked a lot about the Typhoon blowing up places. Now I'm going to join the Royal Air Force because it seems like it's going to be a lot of fun flying all those planes. A bit of history anyway. So this is how the Royal Air Force started. So it started in 1918. And from then on it became stronger than ever. So in terms of conflicts anyway, because I'm sure a lot of people are interested in that, the Royal Air Force was involved in all sorts of conflict, but it's usually for the good though. I'm not saying that there were wars that we got into that were not necessary. There were some wars we got to that were not necessary, sorry. However, a lot of them we went into were necessary. So this is the First World War. So obviously we were formed after the First World War, because if you can look at that, I'm not sure if you can see that, the Royal Air Force was formed in 1918 and the First World War started in 1914 till 1918. I think we realized after that that there is a need to have some fighter jets and planes, yeah? But I'm sure at that time we were using our Navy a lot, because back then it was much more of the Navy that was doing a lot of work. So when you come here, you can obviously see the history from 1918. Let's talk about the Second World War. So I'm sure a lot of fighter jets were obviously very active then. And the good thing they've done is they've shown you the sort of planes that were there at that time. So this sort of planes basically, if you can see, yeah, and the planes got bigger and more sophisticated. Oh, I can't say that today, but anyways, you know what I mean. But in the Second World War, a lot of our planes got involved in fighting the Germans, yeah. So the Germans were our enemy back then, and we had allies. So the allies were America, the UK, and some of the people that were part of the Commonwealth at that time. So we also got involved in terms of fighting. We got involved in the Cold War as well. And the Cold War was 1946 till 1991. So a bit of background regarding the Cold War. So it's not literally us doing a lot of fighting per se, but I think the Cold War was much more of making strategic decisions, you know, investing more in certain planes. Although we did fight some wars during that period, but there was not a lot of fights for the Cold War. But the Cold War could be interpreted in various ways though, because there was a particular Cold War that was basically the Soviet and the Western world. Also the Falklands conflict as well. The Iraq War, obviously we got involved in a lot of that. The Balkans, you all know about the Serbians and the people from Kosovo. Iraq, Afghanistan and all that jazz. Okay, let's move on. So let's check out a number of things they have. So this is basically where the pilot will sit. This is probably for a certain type of plane. And you know, till now I think, if the plane is actually going to blow up or the plane is going to crash land, whatever the case may be, the pilots can actually eject. And when they eject, they've got a parachute bringing them down. Yes, talking about ejecting. So things can go wrong very suddenly in a combat aircraft. So it is essential to be able to exit the cockpit as soon as possible. I can't bloody talk today, you know. I think I'm too excited. Trust me, there's a lot to see here. I'm very excited. But basically what happens is you eject, and when you eject, a parachute supports you landing on the ground, so you're nice and safe. This is one of the cars they had back then. That is so old and it looks really nice. It's very good that they've kept all these things for us to see now, because they were made a long time ago. Look at the Trojan, for example. That is a beauty, isn't it? That is definitely a beauty. So the American Air Force and the British Air Force were quite close anyway, back then and now, because we do share resources. As you all know, whatever conflict America gets into, we get into. We're not Americans, or we're not America's lapdog. We are just strategic partners. Yeah, you know, bear that in mind. We do work a lot together, and I think it makes sense that both countries actually fight together because there's more power in unity. Okay, so this is a plane. This is so strange. I don't think I've seen a plane like this before, but it looks really good. So I don't think they've actually stated the name of the plane per se, but it looks really different actually. Or is this a rocket or a plane? Let's see. I don't know actually. This is definitely a rocket, I think, and it blows up places, and that's a rocket as well. So what they've also done is they've shown us different types of plane. So that is the De Havilland, that one, and that was used between 1918 till 1931, which is quite interesting. Okay, let's move on. Okay, so this is a uniform of somebody that works in the Royal Air Force. I'm not sure if this is the current one being worn, but it looks really good. Okay, so this is actually the Duke of Edinburgh's working dress uniform. Okay, that makes sense. That looks nice. Do you think I should get a Royal Air Force uniform? I think I would have to join first. I don't think they will let me wear it without joining. Okay, let's move on. Alrighty, so I think you can actually listen to the song from the early days. Let's listen to that, yeah? So, okay, so I'm listening to a song from the early days back then. It sounds so old and nice. I think the olden days had the best music ever. Like when you listen to old music, it sounds good, isn't it? Alright, let's look at some people that were working for the Royal Air Force back then. So this is a lady called Constance Babington Smith. She was a flight officer, and she joined the Air Force in 1940. That's a long time ago. Do you think she's still alive? Wow, that's a long time ago. I don't think she'll be alive though. If she joined at that time, she's probably in her late 90s maybe, or even in her hundreds if she's alive. Okay, so they've got various types of cameras that were used back then. Look at how big the cameras were back then. So I'm not sure if these are the cameras that fit into the plane at that time, or they're just cameras that people hold. But I've got a feeling it's those that might be installed within the planes, because what they're trying to portray is what the plane had at that time, or what was used. Well, it might not be something that was used in the plane at that time. Okay, I'm trying to listen to the effects of bombing. So can you see this, the effects of bombing? But nothing is saying anything. Oh, there's nothing to hear. Oh, to hear, sorry. Alrighty, so let's keep moving. This is a lovely lady that works in the Air Force. The uniform is really nice, isn't it? I think we have the best uniform ever. And this is probably an officer that worked in maybe 1918 or 1940. Wow. They all look really good, really nice and smart. Alrighty, so now let's look at the engine. So that's an engine of a plane. I wonder who was making the engines back then, because we obviously on the Rolls-Royce, and I'm not sure if they were using Rolls-Royce engines back then. Oh my days, look at the missiles. Yeah, that's what I was supposed to say. I said rocket, but they're missiles, yeah? It's still the same, I think. Rocket and missiles. Correct me, guys, if you're in the army, yeah? But yeah. So these are the different types of missiles. So these missiles currently would obviously not blow up any place. The reason why I'm saying that is they must have taken off what makes it lethal. Yeah. So there's a name for it. So there's something that is actually within the rocket or the missile that makes it explode. And I'm sure they've disarmed it. That's the right way to say it. They've disarmed it basically, so you can't actually see. I mean, not see per se. It's not like you're going to see it. It'll be inside. But I suppose if you drop it from the sky now, it's not going to blow up anything. It will just hit somebody's head and they'll just die probably. But yeah, it's so interesting to see this and how massive they are. I'm sure they are really heavy as well. Imagine how heavy they are. Okay, let's talk about gadgets and things like that. So this is probably something that maybe was on a plane. Yeah. So look at how nice and old it looks. So floodlights. It's got a lot of components. Or maritime. So this might be. So maritime. Ensure the safety and free movement of UK and allied maritime vessels. Okay. Interesting. So these are missiles as well. Imagine the sort of missiles they have now. I'm trying to touch this. Oh wow, that feels nice. So that feels good. That feels good. But yeah, imagine how powerful the missiles are now. Back then they looked really powerful, but imagine how they look now. Look at them planes. The old planes are really good. I would like to see one flying. I'm sure they have like air shows you can go to, and you can see like the old, the old plane flying. Like it would be nice to see that. And the noise it makes. I just like the noise. I love the noise. So look at that plane. That is massive though, mate. And look, it looks like he's got a gun at the side of it. Mate. Okay, so Supermarine Spitfire, that's another plane. Yeah, I like this one. I think these are the old ones I like. And that's probably a Royal Air Force boat that supports the Air Force guys on air. because the way it works is they've got obviously the army that actually fight on land, then they've got the Royal Air Force that provide air support, and they've got the Navy that supports the planes as well. Because when we go to another person's territory, then somebody has to actually, you know, fly into that country, and the easiest way to do it is to take your boat or your ship to a certain place, and that place would be the landing and takeoff site to go to other places. Alrighty, let's move on. So when you talk about the Air Force, they need, like I said earlier, they need a lot of support system. So this is the RAF regiment. So you can see they're obviously driving on someone's territory, I suppose. That looks good. Well, let's listen to what they have to say. Obviously you guys can't listen, but I'm gonna listen. Okay, so this, for example, was something I was used to support them back then. And the Royal Air Force literally was formed to protect airfields initially, because back then they would have the enemy trying to blow up our airfields and things like that. But what happened is the Royal Air Force actually stopped them from doing that. Okay, so look at how massive that helicopter is. That is a crazy big helicopter. That is massive. Imagine how they are now. Like, that's a rescue helicopter. You really have to commend the guys that fly, you know. It's crazy. It's so massive. Like, look at how big it is. And all these helicopters are bigger now, you know, like they've got bigger ones now. Imagine the sort of helicopter that is used by the army now, or the Air Force, sorry. And it's more powerful as well. So imagine that. Engines. Okay, let's take a look at some of the engines that were used back then. As you all know, old planes had a propeller, and the propeller supported the plane in flying. But the jet engines changed the game, yeah? So that's the power jet engine. And what happened is, in 1942, jet engines were made, and the jet engine, transformed the way aircraft were used by civilians and the military. So basically what happened was the jet engines enabled the planes to fly faster and obviously more efficient. The propeller engines were good, but they had to create an engine that was suitable for the needs of the pilots and the people back then. So that's how it all started. So this is the first jet engine that was made. Engines are really nice, isn't it? Like the way they look really good. So that's one engine there, and it looks really nice and powerful. And that's a Rolls-Royce engine. Can you see that? That's a Rolls-Royce engine. And as you know, Rolls-Royce back then made jet engines as well as cars, but the motor division of Rolls-Royce is now owned by BMW. So that's the automotive, or the motor division. But for the jet engines, Rolls-Royce still owns that, and they make one of the best engines ever. Well done, UK. Okay, so we're gonna move on to a different place and see what's happening there. So they have various hangars. I suppose they have various things in various hangars. Talking about the future, so I've taken you guys to the old bit. So this is the new types of planes that they use now. and that's the F-35 Lightning. So the planes nowadays are much more sophisticated and they are much more faster and efficient. So that's the F-35 Lightning II. I wonder how quick they are. They make a lot of sonic boom sounds though. That's the good thing about it. I think there was a time I saw on the news where some people around a certain RAF site they had a loud bang, yeah, and it was a sonic boom sound of a fighter jet. It's amazing how quick and how nice they look nowadays. So let's look at some of the planes they have here as well. So this is a plane from 1973, and it was designed to operate at high and low altitude. So yeah, they have various types of planes actually for various types of missions. Don't forget, not all missions are the same. Oh, this is a really old one, 1948. Look at how nice it looks though. Considering it's old, it still looks very nice. Okay. So this is one called, what's this called? Short SB5. The SB5 had a long career as a test aircraft. Okay. Okay. That makes sense. So they had like planes that they made for like testing, which makes sense. Like you have to test what you have. I'm sure they use some of these planes to test the weapons as well, which makes sense. So this is a plane, like I said, we're talking about propeller engines, yeah. So this is one that had a propeller engine. This is another one as well that was used back in the days. Okay, let's move on. There's a lot of good things to see, but I want to show you as much as I can. So there's a canteen area as well where you can sit down if you ever think of coming around, and also you can buy some snacks there and some souvenirs if you want. Okay people, so I need to get into this massive plane. I wonder how technical it is in there. This plane looks really big, and it's got like guns as well in front. It's got about 2 up there, and I think what used to happen back then is somebody sits there and shoots people. It's crazy how things were back then. Can you see them 2 engines there? It's amazing, and I think this is where one of the guys would jump onto and it drops, I'm assuming. But yeah, it is a very, very nice plane. I'm going to try and get inside of it. Those are the missiles there that will drop on people. But it's crazy though, they're holding all these missiles, and I suppose if someone shoots them from ground to air, if they shoot on those missiles, wouldn't they explode? That's mad. Okay, so the name of this plane, this particular plane, is the Short Sunderland MR5. So let's look at what it has. It's got a lot. It's got a crew entry door, a stabilizing wing float, a nose turret, an air surface vessel radar housing. It's got a lot. Okay, let's go inside first, because there's a lot to see and I don't want to miss out on the whole vibe. So let's quickly have a look and see what's in there. There's a lot of people trying to enter, so it might be a little crowded maybe. So please do not eat or drink. That's fine. So how do you go in then? So this looks really I think you have to bend down, I think. Yes. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna go through this place to go in. Oh, I'm so bloody tall. If you're 7 foot, you can't go in here, but I'm 6 foot, so I'm fine. Alrighty, so I've got to bend through and go through this plane. I think I might need my light, but let's see. Okay, it's not as dark as I thought it would be. So this is the plane itself. Can you see all the bits around? It smells really old, which makes me think that I'm in the right place. It's not like a new plane that they've brought on here, it's the actual plane. Wow, it's quite big. Let's go in and see what's in there. Do you think we're going to see any? Okay, so that's the missile I showed you guys outside. It's nice, isn't it?
You can see depth charges have been cranked around.
And see, they've got, that's the parachute bit. Oh my days, this is a massive plane. It feels like a little house. If I was homeless, I would live here, but I'm not. But yeah, it's really nice, and that's where I suppose the pilot stays at. Okay, that was a quick tour. Can you see the engines? Lovely. Okay, let's go to the other hangars. Yeah, so just for you to note, the hangars have closing times. So today is a Sunday, so H3, H4 and H5 closes at 4. So you have to be very mindful of time. I came here for 2:30, but my recommendation is come around 1 o'clock. Oh, that looks good. So these are some of the boats, because like I said, they all support each other. So you need boats, you need cars, you need military vehicles or whatever, because in the army everyone works together. You know, you have to work together in order to achieve your objective. Okay, so we're going to go to H3, H4 and H5 because it closes at 4. Then we can go to H6 thereafter. Alrighty, so I don't know if I've gone through this, but I'll go through it again in case I have. So in terms of parking is £7.50 if you park within 3 hours. Yeah, I've not checked how much it is to park longer than 3 hours, because I don't think I'll be here for 3 hours and over. So there's a parking space there if you want to park. It's really nice though, it's very spacious. You can literally like stand here and think about your life if you want to. They've got a lot of space, but I wonder what's in hangar 3, 4 and 5. I'm actually really looking forward to this. I've never actually been to a military museum. Can you guys comment if you know any other place I could go to visit aside from RAF though, because I'm doing RAF now. So I would like to go to like a naval museum to see all the boats, all the ships, all of that. And also if they have like a military museum, I want to see what they have there as well. Okay, so we're in hangar 3, 4, 5. It looks really nice here. Yeah, they also have a theater, so bear that in mind, but I think you have to pay for that. So you have to pay for that. So if you are interested, then feel free. Okay, so let me tell you guys the opening times. So H1, which is where I came from, opens from 10 o'clock and the last entry is 5 o'clock, but I've done that already. Actually, I should have come to H3, 4, 5 first. H2 opens at 10, closes at 4:45, and H6 4:30. Okay, so we'll do 3, 4, 5 now, and we would move on. Oh, look at that plane. I think what I need to do actually is revisit all the old videos of all these planes actually in action. I think that would be really nice. So that's the plane that was used within 1934 to 1945. Them old planes look good. They look really good. Okay, let's see. Oh my days, this is beautiful. Imagine if I missed this, I would have gone bonkers. This is exactly what I'm looking for, like the actual full-size plane. I'm gonna see if I can take some pictures actually. Okay, so that's the engine, the Napier Lion 7 engine, and that's the plane that the engine went inside of. Wow, that looks good. That looks very good. Mate, I'm loving this already. I'm loving this. It's just really good. Okay, let's go on and see. I think there are certain ones you can actually climb onto. So this is the this is definitely one that was used a long time ago. You can actually tell just by looking at it. So this is Sopwith slime from 1918 till 1928. Oh, I love that uniform. So this is the uniform of a guy called Sir Demott Boyle. He joined the RAF in 1922. Wow, that looks good. That's him. Yeah, the old uniforms are really nice. Just looks really fancy. Oh, I love that. I love that. Okay, moving on. So let's check out more planes. So this is the Bristol gas starter trolley. That one, I don't know why they call it the Bristol gas starter. Let's check. So the Bristol gas starter trolleys supplied compressed air to start. Oh my days, so they had to use that to start the aircraft. I mean specific types of aircraft, not all of them. That's interesting. So do you think they had to have that, like if they go for a mission they would always have to have the trolley and the starter? But how about if they're getting shot at? Would they be trying to do that at the same time? I suppose they'll have people backing them up whilst they shoot. That's a lovely plane. Wow, this is beautiful. You don't understand. Like this, the planes are really nice. A lot of people are into planes. Like I see some people at the airport, like literally like standing, taking pictures of planes flying. It's amazing, isn't it? But anyways, let's keep going. So that's the Bristol Jupiter engine. It looks really good. I love engines anyway. I'm an engine type of guy. That's why I do not get electric cars. Like do they even have engines? Like you wouldn't need an engine for that, would you? Or it doesn't even have an engine. What am I talking about? All my days, that is one I like. This is what you call a lovely, nice plane. That is a nice plane. Wow. So this is a plane called Jet Provost T5A. Wow, that looks good. I wish I could fly a plane. I would fly that now. So imagine the amount of missions all these planes went through. Like, it must have been crazy back then. And imagine the amount of planes they lost. Actually, that is the most painful one. The ones that they actually lost. Because these planes are not cheap, you know. They normally cost a lot of millions, yeah? And when I'm saying millions, it might just be like 20 planes, 30 planes. But when you start talking of a fleet of like 1,000, then you're talking billions. I don't know how they make them. I don't know if they make them in thousands or in hundreds. But yeah, it's crazy. That plane looks good. That plane looks good. I think I'm in the wrong job, you know. I should be a fighter jet pilot. Okay, so this is a Rolls-Royce engine. Can you see how good that is? You've got to actually commend British engineering. Everything we do in the UK is fabulous, yeah? It's all good, it's all gravy. So that's a Rolls-Royce engine, and it was used at the end of 1944 in response to an Air Ministry request for an engine with a thrust of 4,500 pounds to 5,000 pounds. I would like to see when the Rolls-Royce company started, because they've been involved in a lot of things, you know. and I'm sure they were the ones creating, actually they were the ones creating engines for what's it called, for the ships as well and the boats. So they've been involved in a lot, and that's why Rolls-Royce keeps doing a lot of good things till now. They are well known for good engineering. Okay, so this is another fighter jet. That looks nice. That is so different. And all these jets here, they even look modern. Considering they had them a long time ago, they all look quite modern. Like, I'm looking at all of them thinking, if they were to bring a jet like this now, I'll still bloody fly it. Isn't it? And they still look modern. This obviously looks old, but that one looks modern. So this is the Vampire F3. This looks sick. It looks like a Ferrari. This looks like a Ferrari, mate. Okay, this is another one I love. Oh, you can actually, I think you can actually go up there and see how it is, but this is nice. Danger, aircraft armed. So I've got to be careful so I don't get blown up. I've got to be careful so I don't get blown up. Sorry. So this is armed. So yeah, I suppose I need to be careful, but I'm going to climb up there because I think we're allowed to climb up, and I'll see what's on there. If I blow up, I'm going to blame you guys because I'm doing all this for you. So I hope I don't get blown up. Okie dokie. So I'm going to show you how people used to go in. So basically you go up here and you sit there. That looks really good. So look at all the goodies in there. Oh man, I'm so jealous. But you must be quite not small though, that's the wrong word, but you can't be a fat person and drive, or I said drive, and fly a fighter plane, because if you're really big, mate, you'll be so uncomfortable. And it's got like so many buttons as well. Oh my days, listen, you've got to really appreciate these people, you know. It's got a lot of buttons, and imagine they are there on a mission and they have to ensure they do certain things at a certain time. Oh my days, it's crazy. Yeah, they've got all these targets, man. Anyways, let's move on. So this is another Rolls-Royce engine. Oh man, that looks lovely. I wish I could, listen, I'm going to kiss the engine, yeah? I'm going to kiss a Rolls-Royce engine. Watch. I give the engine a kiss, yeah? Man, that looks good, that looks good. So that's a Rolls-Royce Griffin, and it was used for this particular plane. Have you ever kissed a Rolls-Royce engine before? Nah, some of you would never have that opportunity. Okay, let's go around and see what they have. So this is another one, sit in this Spitfire. So I think, are you allowed to sit there? Not sure, but this is a nice one as well. I wonder how fast all these planes go. So this is a single seat fighter bomber. So the other one I showed you, the one I went up to see, is a 2 fighter one, but I don't know why it's 2 though. There must be a reason why it's 2. It might be the other person at the back deals with the weapons or the weaponry, and the one in front just focuses on flying the plane. I suppose that's what that was for, but oh well. Oh, look at that. So that's a Scandinavian. Oh, I don't think so. I think this is the engine. So that's a Bristol Mercury, and I think the plane is called a Gloucester Gladiator. Yeah, let's keep moving. Oh my days, that is a massive plane. Talking about engines, you're going to see a lot of Rolls-Royce engines today. That's the Napier Dagger. You know, that looks good. That looks good. Oh wow, let's look at this one. This looks massive. That's a massive plane. Squadron Royal Air Force. I like this one though. So can you see that it says Squadron Royal Air Force? I like this. I think that's a two-seater plane, that one. So this this is the engine. That is massive. So this is a Turbo Union RB99 or 199, sorry, turbo fan. Man, that is a massive engine. I'm not sure if I can touch it, but man, that is crazy. So that's the plane. Jeez. What is fascinating is they've got planes that are even better than this. So imagine how these planes are, like the ones that are actually better. It's crazy, isn't it? Okay, let's move on and check out more planes. There's just a lot of planes to see. Oh, look at the lights in that plane. Can you see them two lights inside? So those are the lights that normally like blink when they fly, and that's obviously to notify anyone in space, I mean in airspace, or anyone below that there's a plane moving around. Unless what would happen is at night when they're flying there'll be a collision. But I'm sure there are other ways of people knowing that people are in air. I'm sure they have like radars and that. Okay, U-boat. Okay, those are the U-boats. Those are the U-boats that were used by the Germans, and what happens is they blow up planes. The battle flag of U-570. The U-boat was caught on the surface by two aircrafts. It crashed, dived, and was brought up again when attacked. Okay, so that's the I've forgotten what that's called, but you know what that's called. Anyways, let's keep moving. So this is a massive plane. Oh my days. And I suppose this is where you go in from. I don't think I'm allowed to go in, and it's locked as well. So that is a massive plane. We need to check out some helicopters in a minute. This particular hangar closes at 4, so I've got to oh my days, that is crazy. Look at that gun. So I don't know if this gun was placed inside of this jet, but that is crazy. I think it was. Man, they just look very nice, isn't it? But now everything is quite different. Like the way planes are built now is mad. But I suppose this goes below somewhere or on top somewhere, who knows. And the planes are massive. Oh, don't tell me this is a whole plane, because that would be crazy if it is. Imagine this whole plane like flying on air. It's crazy, isn't it? These planes are really big. And they make a lot of noise as well. I've noticed, like the old planes, like they make like crazy noise. The new planes nowadays, they don't make crazy noises like the old ones. Oh, helicopters. I love helicopters. Look at that one. So that's a nice helicopter. That's a white one. I don't think I've seen a white helicopter before. So that's French, I suppose, because it's got like a French flag. So this is a Royal Air Force rescue plane. I like the yellow color though, I'm not going to lie. It's so nice, isn't it? So you know, back then, like they would have a lot of troops that need support, and they have a lot of rescue planes that support them or help them. So the yellow one is one of it as well. This looks like it might be a rescue plane as well. Let's see. Training light. Oh, so this is a comms helicopter and training helicopter. Helicopters are nice though. Wow. But the space back then was quite crazy. Like if you're really tall, I don't know how you fit in though. It's crazy. I'm sure you'll fit in, but you have to squeeze your legs. Okay, so this is another helicopter. This is a two-seater. What does this do? So this particular helicopter started flying in 1942. It was used in the Second World War. Interesting. Oh, the wings are missing for this one. I'm not sure if they've taken out the wings on purpose so that it doesn't come here. Maybe that's why it looks like that. But yeah, that's a nice one. I love the yellow one though, I'm not gonna lie. This yellow one is my favorite. And it's quite big as well. I think that's a camera. What year was this? So this operated between 1961 to 1982. I was not even born then. Okay, let's look at the tail. So look at that. So I think the Americans call planes with tires, I think they call it choppers. I think that's what they call it. Okay, let's take a look at the rescue one here. This is a Bristol Sycamore. This is a nice one as well. I just like the way they look. They look really good. Okay, moving on. There's just a lot to see. So you have to just keep checking it out as you go. I swear I wish I could fly a plane or a helicopter. Unfortunately, I can't. So all I could do is just to look. But I wish I could. Okay, so this is a Royal Air Force plane. That's a very different one, isn't it? You see, they have different types of planes. Like I said earlier, they're created for different purposes. They use them for different missions. I could check to see what this one was used for back then. So let's see. So this was an exercise northern. No, what am I talking about? I think it was used on islands back then. Is the Islander? It's called the Islander, I think. Okay. Alrighty, let's move on. This is a bloody helicopter, isn't it? But this is so different. What sort of helicopter is this? It's the Belvedere, so the Westland Belvedere HC-1 is a tactical transport helicopter. All my days, look at, it's bloody carrying the Jeep, the military Jeep. So it must be a very strong helicopter, you know, for you to carry that sort of thing. Okay, no wonder it's got all that space in the middle, because it's used to carry things. I'm sure very, very heavy things though. It must be. All my days. I've never seen a helicopter like this before. It's just totally different. And is that the engine? That must be the engine. Yeah, it is. It is the engine, mate. For all you lot that fought back then, and for all you lot that have flown planes like this, kudos to you. I really respect you, mate. This is worse than driving a lorry. It's like crazy, isn't it? Oh wow, look at that beautiful flag, the British flag. That's the best flag ever. Okay, so that's a red helicopter. You know, I like colors like this, the red, the yellow. I love them. The Royal Squadron, Royal Air Force. This looks good, mate. So these are people. Okay, so is this what they use for like VIPs? I think it is, because it looks really fancy inside. I don't know if you could see, but it looks like a Virgin train. It's got like somewhere to like sit and somewhere to like wine and dine. It looks like a good one, this one. Oh, I like this one actually. But it's so funny. So the pilots are up there. How do they come down? I'm sure there's a way they come down, maybe, or they don't. Because wow, it's nice. I like it. I like this one. Oh yeah, so I'm totally right. It's a VIP transport helicopter. This makes a lot of sense to me now. So okay, this is a good one. This is a good one. This is lovely. This is lovely, mate. Okay, so the connection between flying and the royal family stretches. So I think it carries like royalty and people like that. Mate, look. So fancy inside. So fancy. Very nice. Okie dokie. Moving on. Let's see what else they have. I've got a few minutes actually for hangar 345 to close. This plane was used in the Battle of Britain. Can you see that? Oh my bloody days. Can you see this plane? This is crazy. This is crazy. This is nice. Wow. Oh my days. That's all I can say. This plane is crazy. And look at the guns, like, this now wants me to fight. Like, this makes me want to join the army. This makes me want to join the Air Force. So this is the Battle of Britain fighter 4. Okay, no. Let me shut up. That's something else. No enemy plane will fly over the Reich territory. Oh, this is German. This is German. Wow. Was this made by BMW? Or was it made by Mercedes? Oh my days. Oh my bloody days. Oh my bloody days. It's different, isn't it? So this is what the Germans were using. This is the likes of Hitler and them lot. Yeah? This is what they were ordering to fly across border, taking over other people's countries, yeah? It's a nice plane. Jeez. This is a nice plane. It's massive. It is massive. Okay, let's keep moving. I'm getting too clingy to certain planes. Oh, this is a nice one as well. I like this. Let's check out the grey one there. That looks good as well. The grey one looks fantastic. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Okay, so this was presented by the Indian Air Force to the RAF. So the Indian Air Force, no offense, yeah, to my Indian people, but were you the ones that built it? Or was this something that was built for you and it was given to you, or you bought it and you gave it back? Because I can't recollect the Indians making any fighter jets though. All I know is the Europeans were the ones making the fighter jets, like the likes of Germany, England, or the UK, sorry, America, and other European countries. But I'm not aware of any Indians making them, but I might be wrong. Sorry to my Indian people, but I can't just recollect reading anything saying that you guys made fighter jets though. I've got a feeling it's something made by the British or the Americans, and they give it to you and you give it back. Oh, that's a nice one. I like that. That looks good. It's so surreal, isn't it? Because when you look at them, sometimes you're thinking, is this for real? Like, it looks crazy. That's all I can say. It looks crazy. So this particular plane is called the Kawasaki KI. That might be Japanese. Yeah, exactly. One of the best Japanese fighters of. Okay, so just to give you a bit of history, so the Japanese were allies with the Germans, yeah. So it was the Germans and the Japanese basically, and the Italians, yeah. And the allies on the other side were the British, the Americans, the Commonwealth countries, and they were fighting against these people. Okay, Kawasaki. I need to go to Japan actually. I need to go to Japan. Or Mitsubishi. Oh man, you see, now this makes me want to go to Japan. So you see, Mitsubishi were not just making cars, they were making planes, yeah? Okay, so oh, you see, so the performance of this was so good, the Germans were trying to get manufacturing rights from Japan. So it must have been a very good plane. But you see, the Japanese are known for creating good products, like Toyota, for example. If I'm correct, yeah, Toyota is Japanese. Yeah, but that looks nice. But you see, I've never heard of the Japanese jets though, so that's why it's so good to come to places like this. This is a very, very strange one though. Look at how this looks. This is so different. Oh, look at that. So I suppose what they've done, if I'm correct, is they've put in things that were used by the other forces back then, like the Japanese. I've not seen any Italian one, and the Germans. Ooh, this is definitely a German one though. This is definitely a German one. It's definitely German, this one. It looks it. Wow. It's crazy, isn't it? Yeah, when you start looking at planes of other countries, you're like, what the hell? But this is so different. It's good. Okay, okie dokie. So I'm going to come out of here and I'm going to go to the hangar. I think the hangar I've not been to is H2. I've seen H1, I've seen 3, 4, 5. So it's time to go to H2. I'll see you guys in a bit. Okay, let's keep moving. Right, so we have this lovely lad here just chilling. I'm sure he was probably on a mission. There's a lot of missiles in this particular hangar. Look at how that one looks like. That's a good one. That's a long one. I don't know if the longer they are, the more far they can go, because sometimes you see some that look really long and some that don't look that long, but I don't think it really matters. I suppose it depends on what's inside to project it. But yeah, the missiles look lovely. They look good. They look good. I'm just hoping that we don't have a war soon, although the way things are going, World War III is inevitable, so watch out for that. Okay, so this is a fighter jet, obviously. This looks good, and I like the one on top as well. That's a good one as well. I just like the way they look. It makes you want to like fly them. Okay, let's move on. The Guinness scale. What's that all about? Can you see this one is called Guinness scale? No, it's not called Guinness scale. They just have a girl there and it's called Guinness scale. But that looks good. So that's another fighter jet. I like this color though. It's an unusual color. You don't usually see fighter jets of this type in this color. Oh wow, look at the wing folding. Do you think it flies and the wing folds whilst it's flying as well? That looks nice though. If it actually flies that way, that would be lovely. But I don't know if they've done that. I think they've actually done that to enable people go through, because tall people like me would obviously hit the wing. So I think that's why they've done that. That's a Cold War weapon. Wow, that's a nuclear weapon. I've actually seen a nuclear weapon now. I've seen a nuclear weapon. So this was a nuclear weapon used in 1966 till 1998. So just for people to know though, so the actual missile is not the weapon. What's put inside of it is the weapon, yeah? So the missile enables the military to take the chemical weapon or ballistic weapon or whatever it is to its destination. So that's what the missile is there for. It takes the weapons into its target basically. That's a Eurofighter Typhoon. I like the Typhoon though. I think I just like the shape. It looks nice, isn't it? It's a very nice shaped fighter jet. This is a helicopter. Are we allowed to go in here? You can, but there's really nothing to see per se. But that's a helicopter there. What one is this one? So that's a Hercules US Air Force. To my Americans, black, my American people. So that's one of your that looks like a plane actually, or is it a helicopter, this one? But you can't see the American one. Anyways, I can't wait to go to America. I keep talking about it now. Donald Trump get elected so I could come and see you. I'll probably go to a Trump rally. I'm joking. I'm not joking. Okay, so that's a Buccaneer. That's a Royal Navy Fleet Air Arm. Okay. Oh man. A lot of fancy planes around. A lot of fancy planes. Oh wow, I like this. So this tells you about how the world has moved from conflict to conflict, yeah? So look at this, yeah? In 1980, they had the Falklands conflict. So basically, the Argentinians were claiming that the Falklands belonged to them, but the people of Falklands believed that they were British and they would rather be British. So the Falklands is classed as a British territory. What's funny about it as well is, in order to fly to Falklands, I think there are two ways. I think you can either fly via the RAF, so you go to one of their bases, they charge you a fee and you fly in a fighter jet, not a fighter jet per se, but a military plane all the way there. And I think you can go by normal plane as well, but I need to double check that. But I know you can definitely fly via RAF to the Falklands, but it's quite expensive though. It's not cheap. It's not cheap at all. So in 1990 you had the fall of the Berlin Wall, you had the Iraq War, and you had the Balkans. So the Balkans obviously was a crazy one, that one. Okay, moving on. So the Twin Towers, I don't need to go into that, but you all know what happened to the Twin Towers. Then you had the Afghanistan War, the Iraqi War. So this shows you all the conflict that the Royal Air Force has been involved in. You had the Libya crisis, you had Syria and Iraq, then you had the COVID pandemic. Oh my days. Then 2030, we don't know what's going to happen then. I might become the Prime Minister in 2030. You never know. Okay, so Afghanistan. So yeah, it's been a long war in Afghanistan actually. So from 2001 to 2021. I suppose this is one of the uniforms that somebody wore at that time. Okay. Alrighty. I don't know if I've gone through all the hangars, yeah, but I think this is it for this one. I'll see if I can exit and go to another hangar. I think there's one more hangar I've not seen. I don't think I've seen H2. So I've now seen, so let me just do a recap. I've seen H1, I've seen H3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so I think it's H2 left. Let's go to H2 and I'll end it there. Okay people, the final hangar. So this is H2. This closes at 4:45, so I've got a bit of time. So this has various engines and also various planes. So some of these engines we've already seen in other places, but I'm sure you would notice that there's a lot of Rolls-Royce engines here. So that's a Rolls-Royce engine there. I'm sure Rolls-Royce has a place you can visit to see their engines. I think I need to do a bit of research, regarding where their museum is, so I could see what sort of engines they have. I suppose they would have engines of cars, commercial planes, military planes, and other sorts of things, basically. Okay, so respect to these people. Services during the First World War. Respect to you and your families. Okay, let's move on. So they've got other bits here. So I suppose these are the equipment that is impacted. Oh my days, look at that. Number 13, what's that? That's a German aerial camera. The Germans are so interesting, isn't it? That looks like a bloody gun, but yeah, that's interesting. It's a handheld camera. So these people, 2,073 people in the Royal Flying Corps and Royal Naval Air Service when the war began. So these people were in there when the war began. Respect to you and your families. Okay, let's move on. So we are nearly done for the day. It's been a beautiful day. Look at that. Oh, these planes are amazing. They are so different. So this is for basic training. So after their basic military training, flying crew pilots study subjects including engineering. Interesting. This is a German one. Oh yeah, I remember when I used to watch like old military war videos. You see people wearing this. I suppose this was very important during winter, I suppose. Look at that. See how things have really changed, yeah? Look at how old the planes were. Look at the sort of missiles they were using. And now you've got crazy missiles. Like, it's mad, isn't it? Look at the guns. Like, see, things have really changed. Look at the sort of guns they had then. Now the sort of weaponry you have, it can take off your whole body. Blow up your whole head, basically. Okay guys, I think I've done enough and we have to end it. So I'm going to end it this way. The Royal Air Force is the best ever, the strongest ever. They keep doing great things. They keep defending the vulnerable. They keep defending their allies. They keep supporting their allies, and they keep doing a great job. So if you want to join the army, or if you want to join the Air Force, I would say the Royal Air Force is the best one ever. If you haven't liked any of my videos, please like it. Please subscribe to my channel, and I'll catch you in my next video. Take care, guys.